Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
All of our guests today, including Craig Button, standing by, brought to you by the Bayside Oceanfront Resort, located oceanside in beautiful Parksville. The Bayside is one of Vancouver Island's premier getaway spots, with summer right around the corner, we think. Parksville provides endless adventure, including beaches, golf, breweries, and more, all minutes away from the Bayside. Call now to book your reservation. I mentioned Donnie and Dolly, 10% off, Rick. Your nightly room rate. Book your island getaway today at BaysideOceanfrontResort.com or call 250-2488-333. Unsigned. Delaney's OK Tire and Langley inbox. The moving versus painting debate. And he's on your side or she's on your side, Ryan. What do you do with furniture when you paint, Donnie? You move it.
You move it.
At least twice.
Yeah.
Moving it 3 feet and down a stairway versus down a stair or whatever, two different things.
Our text line, by the way, just blew up over this.
Moving sucks. I'm not saying moving doesn't suck. Moving sucks. Yeah, painting, though, is so tedious and slow, and I do it uneven.
Yeah, but you got the music going.
See, this is what I mean. You got the zen thing with painting.
You said there's a zen feel.
With you, yeah. Not with me.
I like it. I'm sure Craig's happy about this. Craig's list is out today. TSN Scouting Director Craig Button joining us now. How are you, sir?
I'm good, but when you start talking about zen, now Rick and Ryan, you might not remember this, but Donnie, do you remember the guy that used to paint the clouds and he had that soothing voice and he used to do those paintings and, we'll put a nice white fluffy cloud up here and, I'll just put in a little bit of a ray of light.
From Seattle.
Is that the kind of painting you're talking about? Or are you talking about painting walls?
No, not Bob Ross. We're talking about Bob Ross. We're talking about painting walls. I would rather do that than pay for a mover. That makes sense?
So you would do moving yourself?
No, pardon me. I would rather pay for a mover than pay for painting. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not moving myself, so I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Now, we could have the debate that maybe not paint, but I don't mind painting. Painting, to Ryan's point, can be a little tedious, but you just got to give yourself mood music.
Yes. Thank you very much. Speaking of things you don't want to do, you're in Calgary. Have I got that right?
Yes.
Have you been shoveling snow over the last 48 hours?
Here's the beautiful thing. Okay, so I wake up on Monday and there's snow on the ground. It's like, you got to be kidding me. But it's Calgary. By Monday afternoon, it was gone. So you know what? You just let Mother Nature do her part to just make sure that it's all gone and melted away. Now that couldn't happen in February. You have to get out there and shovel. But in May, you can let that kind of process take place.
Or wait for a solid Chinook. Hey, Craig, what led to Barry Trotz's downfall in New York?
Well, when you get an answer to that, Donnie, please let me know.
Okay.
I'll keep my lines open for your answer. But, seriously, what happened? I mean, let's rewind this for a second here. Goes to Washington. Coach of the Year, President's Trophy, Stanley Cup. Oh, Brian McClellan says, I don't want you anymore. Well, the Washington Capitals haven't won a playoff series since they said they didn't want him anymore. He goes to New York. Worst defensive team in the league. Coach of the Year, takes their team right near the top of defensive play. Conference final. This year, 15 whatever games on the road to start the year. COVID and everything. Still has them competitive. And Lou Lamoriello says, you know what? It's just something. They need a new voice. You know what it's like saying? And I'm so disappointed in Lou Lamoriello because it's like saying when somebody asks you something like, why did this happen? Well, just because. Well, just because. Yeah. Just because? Really, Lou, it's not a good enough answer. It's not a good enough answer. In fact, it's a no answer, and it's a bailout. And, Lou Lamoriello's not a bailout guy. Well, he bailed. And to me, I have no answer to why Barry Trotz would be let go. I will say this, though. I'll tell you what. I think it's a BS move by Lou Lamoriello.
All right, Craig, let's go from one coaching incident to another. The Canucks basically have told Bruce Boudreau, we haven't talked to you about this, you can come back next year, but no extension. He's making up his mind right now. Your thoughts on how this is playing out? He was 35, 15, and 10, Craig.
If I were Bruce, I'd be looking at every opportunity outside of Vancouver. Every single one. Wow. Because I think the writing's clearly on the wall. It's kind of the same. We want you, but Bruce Boudreau saved the Vancouver Canucks season ticket drive for the 2022-2023 season. He saved it. He gave the players hope. He gave the fan base hope, and that translates to economics. And to me, listen, they can do whatever they want. They can get a new coach. I said this during the year. You can get somebody to stand behind the bench. You can get somebody that's a coach, and I get it, right? Are you going to find somebody better than Bruce? Perhaps you will. Maybe Barry Trotz wants to come to Vancouver. Perhaps you might find that. There aren't very many better coaches than Bruce. I'm telling you, if I was Bruce, what I'd be doing, I'd be looking elsewhere. Okay, so we started this off by talking about painting. The writing's on the wall.
Beautiful.
That's right. I like that. That was good. That was a good segue. And they call it a segue in our industry, Craig. Craig, the NHL draft lottery, most likely the Canucks are going to pick around the 15th. Let's just say that. Can they get a good prospect at 15? Your list was out today. You got who do you got? Ivan Miroshnichenko.
Marashnichenko.
He was close.
Cancer.
I was close. Craig, I know his agent, Todd Diamonds, he's obviously had to take time off because of the cancer. But your thoughts, Craig, at 15, who could they get? Could they get a good prospect?
Yeah, if they pick one.
Yeah. Well, we know that here in Vancouver.
Yeah, I know. That was one of those tongue-in-cheek things. But do I think there's good players available for the Vancouver Canucks at 15? I absolutely do. And I think I really believe that everything being equal, they got to look at a defenseman if there's one there. And now the next part of it is, do I think there'll be defenseman there? Yes, I do. I think that there'll be defensemen there that they can look through. And whether that's Owen Pickering or whether that's Kevin Korchinski or whether that's Pavel Mintyukov or whether it's Denton Mateychuk, they're different types of defensemen, but they need defensemen in their prospect covered. And I think that, where I look at that range of the draft, I don't think there's forwards that are clearly better than the defenseman I just mentioned that would prevent you from drafting that defenseman. And I think that you have to be strategic in that regard. And again, I'm not one to just force a position. Never have been, never will be. But there's no discernible difference for me between defensemen and forwards at that point in the draft for the Vancouver Canucks.
Thank you.
We haven't talked about the playoffs yet. There's a million ways to go here, obviously, with 7 series still going on. But how about this? Vezina Trophy candidates came out today. Igor Shesterkin is one of them. I would say the front runner when it comes to the Vezina Trophy candidates. But what are the Pittsburgh Penguins doing to make him look so ordinary? His numbers aren't very solid.
Well, the numbers aren't good, but even when I look back to let's go back to Game 4. 5 of the 6 goals on Shesterkin last night. You're going to put 2 goalies in the net. They weren't going to stop it. I think that the way the Pittsburgh Penguins are playing, the way they're attacking the net, the way they're attacking the New York Rangers, is really paying dividends for them. And, again, Mike Sullivan is a terrific coach. And Mike Sullivan, if we go back to the beginning of the season and we look at them without Crosby, without Malkin, and they were winning games, how are they doing this? How are they doing this? Mike Sullivan is fantastic at being able to say, okay, this is what I have, and now this is what I'm going to use, and we're going to maximize it. And I think that with Crosby and Malkin and a healthy lineup for the most part for the Pittsburgh Penguins, he's doing exactly the same thing. Somebody asked me, they go, well, Ryan Lindgren, he's out of the lineup. Or I asked the question. I said, well, Ryan Lindgren being out of the lineup for the Rangers really hurts him. And the person responded, well, Pittsburgh was out Brian Dumoulin. So, Pittsburgh's without their number 1 and number 2 goalies. So, we can't make an excuse for the New York Rangers. Quite frankly, right now, I think that Mike Sullivan has done a fantastic job of coaching and maximizing the potential of his team. The other thing I will say is the New York Rangers in Game 1 and Game 3 were right in it. They were right in the game. They had opportunities, and they let them slip away. And when you let opportunities slip away in the playoffs against good teams, you're ultimately going to pay a price. For the New York Rangers, I think that we all know that they're going to pay a price by a first-round exit.
Thanks for this, Craig. And by the way, speaking of painting walls, unbelievably, your walls match your shirt today. Was it a package deal? How did that happen? It's an unusual color.
It is an unusual. I painted these walls, Rick. I painted, and Ryan, I painted these walls, did the trim and everything.
Wow.
Fabulous. So just want to let you know, my dear late mother-in-law helped me, so we got to do that. But we got rabbits all around our yard, and I love this.
So do I.
But the rabbits in the winter, they go white, and in the summertime, they blend in with they camouflage themselves with the surroundings with them. I'm just trying to do the same thing with my shirt.
Okay. As long as you come on this show and when you're doing rabbit comparisons, all you're doing is comparing colors of your walls to your shirt and nothing else that rabbits are known for doing. Craig, thanks for this. Appreciate it.
Let imaginations run
No,
wild.
we're good. We're good. I was wondering where you were going with that. Thanks for this, and thanks for the Craigslist. Always great reading. Thanks, Craig.